Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers George Pickens sends message on QB Russell Wilson. Quarterback Justin Fields has seemingly gained ground over the past month in the team's competition behind center with Russell Wilson, who has missed parts of training camp because of a calf injury. But there's one area where Wilson is going to continue to hold the edge over Fields all season: experienced leadership. While speaking to reporters on August 14, Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver George Pickens praised Wilson for the veteran guidance he's provided the team. "He's a very good leader," Pickens said, via Yardbarker's Aaron Becker. "He's a more verbal guy than the other QS for sure. His enthusiasm is the best thing about him." This fall, Wilson is entering the 13th season of his NFL career. He started at least 14 contests in each of his first 12 years. From 2012 to 20, he started every single contest, earning 8 Pro Bowl appearances and leading the league in passing touchdowns once. Wilson also led the Seattle Seahawks to 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl title during that span. The Steelers have been upfront since acquiring both quarterbacks in March that Wilson has the pole position over Fields for the starting job. Steelers insider Mark Kaboly argued on May 30 that Wilson holds an edge over Fields because of what Pickens praised Wilson for on August 14, his leadership. "They want Russell Wilson in here for a reason, and it's more than just being a quarterback," Kaboly said. "It's being a leader. That's not necessarily an indictment on Fields. He just hasn't been a leader of a winning team in his young NFL career." Fields is 10-28 as a starting quarterback in the league. Last year, he led the Chicago Bears to a 5-8 record while throwing 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Wilson hasn't posted a winning record since 2020. But from 2012 to 20, he never had a losing record and led the Seahawks to 5 campaigns with at least 11 wins. Wilson also won 8 playoff games in a 5-year span from 2012 to 16. The question now is whether Wilson can recreate that success with the Steelers at 35 years old. The other question surrounding Wilson is when he will be completely recovered from his calf injury. According to Wilson, though, he is more than trending in the right direction. "I've been working every single day," Wilson said, via Becker. "Even the days I was a little bit lighter in team, I was getting all the fundamental work. I feel really good. I'm ahead of schedule." The veteran quarterback suffered the calf injury while pushing a blocking sled at the beginning of training camp. Wilson, head coach Mike Tomlin and other members of the Steelers organization faced severe criticism immediately after Wilson's injury. If the ailment impacts Wilson going into the regular season, then that criticism will be more than warranted. The good news is the Steelers do have another quarterback they are comfortable with in Fields. But Fields may not be able to match the leadership that Wilson has been praised for possessing this summer. Steelers cornerback to miss rest of the season after sustaining calf injury. Pittsburgh Steelers slot cornerback Grayland Arnold is out for the season after the team placed him on injured reserve on Thursday. On Wednesday, Arnold suffered a calf injury when attempting to push off his right leg to pursue kick returner John Reese Plumlee. He tried to fight through it for a rep, but then removed himself from practice. Arnold exited on a cart, and Mike Tomlin said the injury was a calf injury after practice. Arnold had received the first team reps for the entire week of training camp in the slot cornerback battle. Beanie Bishop is listed as the starting slot cornerback and is set to earn those first team reps with Arnold sidelined. Thomas Graham is the backup. With the open roster spot, the Steelers signed cornerback Keandre Thomas. Arnold can still be removed from injured reserve with an injury settlement. The Steelers had to place him on injured reserve because he is a vested veteran. If they remove him from injured reserve, Arnold will be free to sign with any team and become a free agent. He can only return to the Steelers after the length of his injury settlement, plus an additional 3 weeks have passed since he was removed from the injured reserve. A veteran option, Arnold was signed after the Houston Texans opted not to keep him around. He missed about a week with another soft tissue injury before finally returning. In his limited time playing in training camp, Arnold had 3 interceptions and was making a push to make the 53-man roster. Now, he will either end up elsewhere after the injury is healed or return to the Steelers at some point in the middle of the season. If you purchase a product or register for an account through a link on our site, we may receive compensation. By using this site, you consent to our user agreement and agree that your clicks, interactions, and personal information may be collected, recorded, and/or stored by us and social media and other third-party partners in accordance with our privacy policy. Steelers break silence on extension plans for Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. The Pittsburgh Steelers totally blew up their quarterback room this offseason, bringing in 4 new faces including Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and Kyle Allen. And yet, another total overhaul could theoretically occur in 2025 if things go wrong. Neither Wilson, Fields, nor Allen is under contract next season as of now. When asked if there are any plans to change that and extend one of the signal callers beyond the 2024 campaign, Assistant General Manager Andy Weidel confirmed that the Steelers organization will take a wait-and-see approach as of now. "I think you just let the quarterback situation play itself out," Weidel told reporters on August 15. "You can't worry too much down the road. You keep an eye on it, but you just take it one day at a time. Watch these guys go out there and perform and evaluate and make decisions based on the thought process that, at the end of the day, at the end of the season, you'll know." In other words, the Steelers do not have plans to sign Wilson or Fields to a long-term deal prior to the 2024 season, which makes sense. Wilson is turning 36 in November. He has barely played this summer due to a calf injury, and he's produced a 17-27 record over his past 3 campaigns. It goes without saying that of the two, Fields profiles as the potential long-term asset. He's only 25 years old and he still shows flashes of that franchise QB ceiling that he displayed at Ohio State. With Fields, the problem has always been his consistency. Unfortunately, a mixed training camp didn't accomplish much in terms of solving that riddle. Instead, the Steelers will practice patience and let the on-field product determine their next move. A pragmatic choice, albeit an uncertain one. After logging several practices without a setback, Wilson is set to start against the Buffalo Bills during the Steelers' second preseason outing. This was confirmed by head coach Mike Tomlin on August 15, assuming the calf injury doesn't flare up at all before Saturday evening. If the starters are highly effective and productive and we get good quality work, we might move on from them to get more of an exposure to the other guys, and so that's a template in which we work, the Steelers HC stated. Adding, "We had a 2-series mentality for the starters last time out. This time out, we kind of got a 4-series mentality." As for Fields and his expected playing time against the Bills, Tomlin made it clear that nothing is etched in stone as of now. Fields will obviously lead the second wave on offense once Wilson's day is done, but it's unclear if he'll get 4 series of his own or something more substantial. Fields spoke with team reporter Teresa Varley after joint practices on August 15. "The biggest thing for me coming in was learning the new offense and stuff like that," the former first-rounder admitted. Of course, everybody has to learn the offense. So really just getting detailed with that and improving mechanics is always a big thing. But the biggest thing was coming in and learning the ins and outs of the offense, he reiterated. As for training camp as a whole, Fields felt it was a great experience. "You build relationships with guys on the team that I think I'm closer with now than I would have been if we would have done camp here and everybody would have went back home. So, I'm definitely glad we did that, in Latrobe," he explained. "I definitely feel like the team is closer with each other. I think we got better each and every day, but of course, we still have things we need to work on." He concluded that "I think overall we had a good camp." And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Russell Wilson? Leave your opinion in the comments.